What do you want to load on your RV hauler? We've got a Fiat, we've got a smart car. Maybe you want to load Jeeps. Maybe you want to load ATVs, all-terrain vehicles. We're going to demonstrate a whole bunch of those loading techniques today. We're going to show you how we load with winches. We're going to show you how we just drive up and drive on. Maybe you want to carry a couple Harleys. Let me show you how that works. Join me in this video. In the 12 years of building RV haulers, you've probably, if you watched a few of my videos, you've seen us load a few of those little smart cars. They're the only vehicle that can be loaded widthwise on the back of the bed. Now what we're going to demonstrate today is we have the option of building the bed a little bit longer on our RV hauler, and we can load other things: Jeeps, Fiats, Honda Fits, ATVs, side-by-sides. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to show you how we set these rigs up for loading from the rear. We're going to drive up, we're going to winch up, and we're also going to show you some flexibility we have with our new mounting system for loading widthwise more than one vehicle. We've got some customers who've asked to load a couple Harleys. One customer wanted to take a golf cart and a smart car. So we're going to show you that flexibility today. Here we go. Let's load the Fiat first. So in this particular bed build design, you see we've got more of our functional bed. Not quite as fancy. We didn't put skirted sides on this one. And Spencer's going to help me out here. I'm going to show you where the ramps are stored. We're going to get them set up. So what we've created is what I call an umbilical, or a pass-through. And lots of room to store the ramps and flag poles and fishing rods and whatever you'd like. Now we have, in this case, is we've actually got some bolts, a little pin that we're going to use to secure the bed here. So there we go. Rob is coming around the corner. He's getting things ready, planning ahead for our smart car winch on. All right, so some of the prep we're going to do is, oh, Spencer, would you dump the air suspension for us? Thanks. So just to help with some of the angles loading here, what Spencer's going to do is he's going to dump the air suspension. So with the key on, he's going to hit a button on the dash. You're going to see that that wheel tucks into the fender a little bit more. There we go. And some of the other prep we're going to do is just to make sure we got lots and lots and lots of clearance between the oil pan and or the bottom of the vehicle and the hitch. Of course, this hitch extends a little bit above the bed surface, so we've got a dump valve in here. We hit that valve, you're going to see this guy go down in a second. There we go. We're also going to unplug our hitch camera. It's mounted on a 90-pound welder's magnet, so that's easily removable. Just set that down, and you'll see that now, if you were to lower the camera and really look at this level, this hitch head, the plate, is level with the back of the bed. Okay, any volunteers for driving on? Oh, Rob's hand went up in the air. Let's start with the copper-colored Fiat here. Just to make this transition a little bit easier, Spencer's going to throw a couple 2x6s there. That little lip, that little 2-inch lip, creates a little bit of a bump up, so we put a transition piece in place. And if you take a look at Rob, he's opened up the driver's window, and all you gotta do is watch this front wheel. It's kind of cool. The other 3 wheels will follow, so you really don't have to worry. Spencer's up on the deck. He's being a bit of a spotter. What Rob is going to do is just watch that front wheel, and he's going to watch it travel up the ramp the whole way. Now, Rob is also going to stop midway, and I just want to show you the breakover angles, that we've got lots of clearance underneath the car. So go gadget Rob. Hey Rob, just give it a pause there. What I want to show you is it's not something that we got to take a 20-foot run at. Rob can actually stop on the ramps and start. So there's tons of power in all these vehicles to go up this little ramp. So go ahead. Go just a little bit further. He's not giving it a lot of fuel. And if you want, just pause there, Rob. I'm going to grab the camera here. And I'm going to show you the clearance we have underneath. So if you look at our clearance underneath there, that space is probably 5 inches. Nothing is coming close. So Rob, do you want to continue driving up? And we've designed this bed without a drawn box. So the car is going to nestle about 4 inches away from the sleeper. And there you go. There we go. And we'll show you backing off. And Rob's got his head out the window. Next, if driving up ramps is not something that you're excited about, got a nice option, which is a portable winch. So this little handle carrying winch is a 5,000 pound winch. We've got a quick connect underneath the storage box on the passenger side. And I'm just going to demonstrate how this thing gets attached really quickly to the bed. So we've got a little clip system. The clip that Spencer's putting into the bed right now is rated for 2,250 pounds. You just push it down, slide it over. And it's got a little mounting plate there. And it slides into place. You can see that there's 3 pins. Locks into place. And we're going to pull the cable out next. Oh, I should point out, the mittens are optional. All right, so we got the cable ran out. It is hooked up to a little strap that goes around the suspension underneath the car, so it's at a nice secure point. And you just saw that we were using a wired control for the winch. The other option we have is a wireless control, so you can have this in the vehicle with you, so you can be pressing the in button or the out button as you need, and you can control the winch from inside the car. Just for this demo, I actually don't have this hooked up yet. So Spencer is going to be running the wired control, and I think this time I get to sit in the car. This time we changed Fiats on you. I don't know if you noticed. The first one was what was called a sport model, so that's an automatic car. This one is a stick shift, and we just decided we were going to change colors. Why not? I should probably get this camera pointing in the right direction here to begin with. There we go. We'll just be able to see the car going up. So same as Rob, I'm going to sit in the seat, lean out the window. There we go. I'm against the winch line, and Spencer's going to go. So this is a really nice, slow, controlled load. You know, if anytime you want to stop, you just hit the, you know, you don't press the button anymore. What Spencer's going to do is he's going to get us entirely on the bed, up onto the flat. And before we get all the way, we're going to take the winch out of play and just use the car to drive the last little bit. So Spencer's pulled us up more than enough onto the bed. I'm going to start the car, and I'll take a little bit of the tension off. And just to show you, we've got lots of room to step out. You know, it's not like you're going to fall off. We've got a lot of space for working. So if you're a single individual loading the car with the remote, you can manage this process all on your own. So the winch method definitely takes longer, but the comfort of having it go nice and slow is what some people are looking for. So we're going to drive this guy off, and let's load a smart car next. Smart cars are still a really nice option because, of course, they're only a little over 5 feet wide. So when we load them width-wise on the bed, we keep our rigs a little bit shorter. But of course, the smart cars are no longer being manufactured in the gas versions. So electrics are disappearing as well. So that's why we're looking at loading vehicles lengthwise. But there's still a lot of these in the used market. And because they're small, they are an awesome grocery getter. So what we've done is we've swung the ramps around and put them on the side of the bed. And we've got a synthetic winch line ran over to a winch that Spencer has set up. We've got a winch arm, and you can see that the cable, the synthetic line, is right up above. It's not even rubbing on the edge of the bed. And the smart car has a little bumper across the back. There's some details about these bumpers. Some of the newer smart cars don't have both of those bolt holes in the back, but we can add them for you. And of course, I'm just going to get a little bit distracted here for a minute. What's really nice is when we're able to paint match these rigs. You saw a Fiat, the second one that we loaded was paint matched to this truck, Rudy, and even the smart car is paint matched to the truck. We're pretty good at paint here and body work. So if you'd like to really tie the rigs together, we can do that for you too. So what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate a winch loading of a smart car next. I'll give you a little, it's always good to talk about safety for a moment. We are dealing here with a synthetic line. Anytime you pull that line out, you want to make sure you don't have any frays or breaks in that line, because those are a point of failure. You also have to think about, heaven forbid, you know, if something were to go wrong with that cable system, that winch system, where's your car going? Make sure it's not rolling into your neighbor's campground. And also you want to keep the audience away. Anytime you're loading one of these vehicles, everybody's going to want to watch. Make sure that they're not walking in front of the vehicle. What I actually carry is a couple little orange pylons. I'll put them out there so that it's a visual indication that, hey, it's a little bit of a danger zone. You want to be a little safe here. So what Spencer's going to do is he's going to run a button. Of course, we could have a wireless one as well. The car's in neutral. The parking brake is on. There we go. Let's turn that off. And with Spencer running the winch, or we could be running it wirelessly as well, I'm just going to steer this car up the ramps. And by putting the window down, I can control the steering wheel. And we do get to a point where it's hard to reach into the window. But what's amazing with these smart cars is keeping your fingers out of the way. You can actually just give it a little turn by hand, push on the wheel, and straighten things out. And of course, we've installed the chocks on the other end, so it does a nice little gentle nestle and roll up against those chocks. So we would tie that down, and hit the road. I think what we should do is we should load a quad next. Let's leave the Smarty up there and let's do the quad next. Well, Rob and Spencer helping me move ramps. I'm going to mention that that winch method is awesome for loading motorcycles. What we'll use is 2 wider ramps. They're almost 3 feet wide. And again, with the wireless winch control, we'll put 2 of those ramps side by side. There's even a clip system to make sure that they don't come apart. And it's super wide. You can run the winch and just envision, you know, walking your Harley up with the winch slowly pulling you up to a wheel chock on the opposite side. So this is, in the case of a motorcycle, it's a drive on, drive off solution. We're going to load the BRP next, the 800cc BRP. And of course that one is just a drive on, drive off. We really don't need a winch because with a 4-wheel drive and the power in that thing, it's not necessary. Now I'm not going to demonstrate it just for the sake of brevity, but what a lot of folks are doing now is we're driving our smart cars up, driving on and driving off. I just won't demonstrate it. There's some other videos that show you how we do that. But the smart car has some really good power and control to be able to drive up, just like you saw the Fiat. Now, we've designed this particular bed for 150 inches of toys in length. So we have room in this particular case to put a smart car and a golf cart, or a smart car and an ATV, which we're going to see, or it could be a motorcycle. So we will design this bed whatever length is necessary to either load lengthwise, whatever you choose, or widthwise. So let me hop on the ATV and just show you the power you have to drive up the ramps. Of course, with an ATV, you've got lots and lots of power and great traction for getting up these ramps. Well, I'm Greg from RVHaulers. I thank you for joining us and watching us load a few different options. You want a Jeep, you want to take motorcycles, that's what's cool about these RVHaulers, is instead of buying big toy haulers and losing that living space, let's put the toys on the RV hauler and tow a nice big 5th wheel with lots of slides, lots of windows, and lots of living space. Just an option for you. I appreciate you watching. Hey, I'm going to bring up some videos here on the screen. If you'd like to see some of the other activities we've done here at RVHaulers, check these videos out. And I thank you for watching our RV hauler videos. Thanks. Boy, it's cold out here. Maybe that's why my lips aren't working so good. My hands are cold. You'd think a Canadian would be used to this stuff by now, but I don't know.